Love is Blind season 4, episode 1. The pods are open. I have a question. Where are the dark skinned kin folks? Where are the dark skinned girls? I'm watching. I'm in episode 2, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. All these girls are high yellow, right? I didn't see no girl that has hair like mine. Okay. And I definitely didn't see no black girls up here that look like Lexi. So I'm like in episode 2, I'm like, well, wait a minute. All these girls are high yellow, biracial, mixed, no full Negro girl. And you know, I'm gonna write him. I am going to write Love is Blind. We need to have dark-skinned black women on this show. There's a couple of dark-skinned black guys, but I'm like, well, where's the chocolate girls? This is episode 2. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I ain't seen not one chocolate girl. Not none of these girls are chocolate. Not one of them. Anyways, y'all, I watched episode 1 and 2 and started episode 3. There's nobody I'm really in love with. I don't really love anybody. I mean, they're okay, but I'm not like, oh my God, I just love him. Well, I do love the lawyer, but his mama was a stripper. So, you know, spirits fall on him. But anyways, are you watching? Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comment. This is Brett. I probably would go out with Brett just to be nice, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't date him. I wouldn't date him. Are you watching? Have you watched? Let's just discuss what's in episode 1. I'm going to do because time is running out. Y'all, so my husband's been working from home for 3 years. Girl, they're going back in the office starting 2-3 days a week. So my husband's going back to the office today. Can you believe that? Oh my God, I'm going to miss him. But he can still drop me off and pick me up. So technically, you know, I'm not really missing out. But be sure to subscribe, thumbs up. I absolutely love you. Be sure to check that other video out I did yesterday about put a ring on it. I want to know what you think about that and why husbands cheat. It's a shocker, but wives, we need to accept it. Take it for what it is. They cheat for the reason that I said they cheated. Okay, so be sure to check that out. Okay, so in episode 1, I wanted to run through and tell you who these people are, but I don't have time. I'll probably do that later. So in episode 1, the pods are open. Of course, the guys and the girls, they meet up and they're talking about, you know, why are they single? And someone is saying, oh, the dating apps is not me. And one says he's busy and this is an opportunity for him to get rid of his phone and just focus on dating. I like that. One say he doesn't like to swipe left or right. And I'm like, you're delusional because that's what you're going to be doing in the pods. You're going to be swiping left or right. So the pods are open. And the first face they're going to show me is Kwame. And I don't like him. Kwame, Mr. Need a dermatologist, need a facial. SK 2.0. So here he go. I don't like Kwame. I'm letting y'all know. I don't like him. I do not like. He is at the bottom right. Bottom, my right, your left. I don't like him. I see him. I say I don't like him. I was like, I don't like him. How you know I don't like it? I know I don't like him. 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 And SK might have spoiled it for all the guys that looks like Kwame. Oh, it's Kwame with the E. Okay, they spelled his name with a Y on the thing. I don't like him. I don't like him. First of all, he needs a facial and he needs to go see a dermatologist. Okay, I don't like him. I am very good at first impression. I don't like him. So Chelsea and Kwame talks, and she's gonna tell him to get so many pairs of shoes, and she brought 21 pairs. Chelsea, Why you need 21 pairs of shoes to be in the pies? And I didn't like her after that, but I grew to really like her. She seemed very wholesome and with a good head on her shoulder. So, I'm keeping my eyes on Miss Chelsea, but I after that I seem to really like her. So, we'll see. This is Chelsea down here. She's 31, and by the end of episode, sorry guys, by the end of episode 2, I was like, I like her. I feel like she has some self-esteem issues. That's what I'll do. While I talk about them, I'll bring the picture up. I feel like she has some self-esteem issues. And later, her and one of the other girls is talking about freezing their eggs and so on and so forth. But by the end of episode 2, I grew to really like her. And you know me, when I say I like you, that means I want to go and have coffee with you. So I have to watch and see if I can still like her, because I don't do annoying people. People that get on my nerve, I don't do the annoying people. So if you're like annoying and can get on my nerves, I don't want to be bothered. So Chelsea talks with Kwame, and Kwame said he couldn't pick up his girlfriend for prom because he's black. Kwame, I don't like him, right? So that means you only dated white girls, Kwame? Let me make this big. You only like white girl Becky's? You didn't like the black girls? Kwame, you didn't like black girls? Now, I'm all for what people want, but I just think it's interesting. He says, I couldn't pick up my girlfriend because I'm black. Well, why don't you date a black girl so you could go pick her up? Why don't you get one of them African girls and date them and go pick them up? So he said he was going to use Felix because Kwame puts him in a specific area. Yes, it does. You should have used Felix. Hello, mamas. Be careful what you name your kids, because Kwame, we already know you is black, and you may be of some other whatever. Use names like Felix. And then we meet Micah, right? And I'm like, who does Micah look like? Does anybody know who Micah looks like? This is Micah up here in the green. She looks like the girl on Married at First Sight. Is it me? Are my eyes deceiving me? Or does Micah look like somebody on Married at First Sight? I can't remember her name. She was married to the pilot. She was married to Eric, okay? Does Micah remind you of anybody? So he says Micah is amazing, and she's his number one, and she also loves talking to him. So Kwame over here is liking Micah, and Micah so far is his number one. But pay attention. Don't get too excited, y'all. Don't get excited. Don't get excited. So then we see Paul the Third, and I'm like, who does he look like? Paul looks like, doesn't he look like the rehab brothers? The two brothers that do rehabs, that they fix up houses. Don't he look like him? Look at him again. let me expand this. Don't he look like one of the rehab brothers? This is Paul. He's 29. Is Paul the lawyer? No, Zach is the lawyer. Tell me if he don't look like it, because I'm looking at him like, why does he look like somebody? And then this morning it came to me. He looked like one of the rehab brothers. So he's Paul the Third. His grandfather name is Paul. His father name is Paul, and he's Paul. He's a scientist, and he travels a lot. Amber is single. Let's see if we find Amber. Let me decrease this. Amber is single. She's delusional. Amber is delusional. This is Amber. Amber is single because modern dating is hard and you're picking people based on what they look like, and that her looks should be the least interested thing about her. And I'm like, girl, you are delusional. You are absolutely delusional. Your daddy should have told you that looks are is number one for women, for men. Next to Jesus Christ, you need to look. She's a thick girl. Amber, I must say, Amber's a thick girl. You can't see it, but she's thick. So maybe that's why she's saying looks are not important. Hold on, yo, Mike. Amber is delusional because she don't want people to choose her based on what she look like. Okay, girl. But then, wait for it. She's been married 2 times. How old is she? 34. Amber is 34. Don't want to be chosen based on what she looked like, and she's been married two times. Ma'am, the problem is you. This problem is you. It's not the man, is you. Your picker's off, and you're delusional, Amber. Amber is delusional. Mm-hmm. So then we meet Billy, and he loves leopard print, and he is hilarious. A lot of the people don't like him. This is Billy down here. He's 33. I thought he was funny, but a lot of people don't like Billy, and I thought Billy was funny. He's 33, and he loves leopard. Zach, I like Zach initially because I was like, oh, he's so dark and handsome. Where's Zach? Okay, there goes Zach. Zach is 31. He's a lawyer. And I was like, oh, he's so dark and handsome. You know, this is what white people call dark, okay? Zach is dark and handsome. He's 31, and he said he's a stripper. And the girl was like, a stripper? But no, he was joking. He's a defense attorney. And I want you to remember that because it's going to come up again about Zach, about him being a stripper. So I want you to remember that. But initially, I thought he was joking, right? When he said he's a defense attorney, I was like, I knew I like him because you can see it in him. But later, when he tell his story about being a stripper, I was like, once I heard you was a stripper, Zach, I would be walking away too, because spirits fall off. And then we meet Chris, and he's telling us that he has a bloody nose and he bled on a girl once. Child, you gotta go to the doctor and see about that, Chris. You can't be bleeding on people because you know blood is not something to be played with, Chris. Okay, you're 32. You should have been at the doctor to figure out why your nose keep bleeding. And mind you, medical people, you can help me in the comments. Is there anything that he can take so he don't bleed on people? I don't know anyone that have blood nosebleed. I think we all have a nosebleed here and then. I've had one. Lexi has had one. Little Michael has had a nosebleed. Big Mike, I don't remember Big Mike. But it's not something that's consistent. Like I think we've each had a nosebleed at least one time. Me, Lexi, Little Michael. You put the coal on your head, you squeeze your nose, your head, hold your head back, and da da da. So medical people help me. Is there anything he can do for a nosebleed? Because I was like, ew, you can't be bleeding on people. So then we meet Tiffany, and I was nervous for Tiffany. I was like, Lord Jesus, this girl is 36. This is Tiffany down here. Child, she 37. And I'm like, Tiffany is 37. She's down here in the blue. And I said, I'm nervous about her finding someone because of the age, and I'm nervous for her because she needs a guy who is in her age range, so right around 35, 36, 37, 40. So then she talks to Brett, and this is Brett here. Brett is 35, 36. Brett is 36. He's down here in the gray or blue. And I didn't like what Brett was saying. I didn't like the words he was using. He says he wants a partner. He wants equal. In other words, he wants 50-50. That's me. Whenever a man say, I want somebody who is equal to me, meaning he wants you to pay 50-50 of the bills. He pay 50% and you pay 50%. And it sounds like he's making money. So you would think a man who claims to be ready for marriage would want to provide for his family. I'm not saying he's not willing to provide. I'm just saying these are words that men use that let me know. Pay attention. Let me close my blind. Pay attention to him, girl, because he gonna want you to pay 50% of the bills. But Tiffany, she's 37. She might be open to. I think every couple should come up with their financial plan. I think women should know what they want, and I think women should date accordingly. So then we meet Jacquelina. And do I like Jacquelina? I didn't like her at first. This is the girl up here. She's supposedly black. She's mixed. But like I said in my opening, these are mixed girls. To me, mixed girls are not black girls. You're biracial. You're not a full Negro girl like me or Lexi. And when I full Negro, yes, we are all mixed up. Okay, but I have 4C here and she probably have 1C. Okay, that's what I mean. Like Tia talking about this is black hair. No, ma'am, that is not black hair. That is biracial hair. I meant to do a video on that. Oh, this is black hair. No, Tia, that is not black hair. That is biracial hair. This is black hair. Okay, kinky, coil. This is black hair. I need to try to get me some money for my hair because people be loving my hair. Mm-hmm. But I didn't like her at first, but I kept my eyes on her. And she says that the most dating she has ever done, hello, ladies, dating is for data. So the first day she went there and met and talked to several guys, she said that was the most dating she's ever done. Hello, dating is for data. I keep telling y'all that dating is for data. So she's saying, wow. Mind you, she didn't go out with them. She didn't have sex with them. She didn't shack up. She didn't have a baby. All you did was sit in a pod and talk to somebody across the room from you in a pod. And what you're doing, gathering data. So I am so glad that Jacquelina brought that up, that is the most dating she's ever done. Okay, so now they go back to the room and everybody is talking about who they like. A lot of the guys like Micah. Micah's 27. Okay, Irina is a mean girl. I'm going to tell you right now. Irina is a mean girl. But you know what came to me this morning? She down here, she's a mean girl. I'm not going to lie. At first, I thought she was a drag queen. I'm sorry. I was looking at her. I was like, what? Her face looked white, like makeup white. The face wasn't matching the makeup. And it looked like she piled on a whole bucket of makeup. And I'm like, well, girl, why you got so much makeup on? So then she's going to tell us later. Irina's delusional too. She talks about her looks, hair, etc. doesn't make her, but it's her inside. She's delusional. She's absolutely delusional. But since you want to be judged on your inside only, we're going to see later that the guy that she likes really picked up on who she is in the inside because she's a mean girl. Her and Amber, I might come back to that. I think it's Amber, are mean girls. Mean. And we're going to learn later that she has a health issue, which makes sense for her. She's trying to compensate be me. You would think if you have a health issue, you would try to be nice to other people and the other girls in the pods. No, this mean heifer is walking around snorkeling and laughing at the other girls when they come back being heartbroken. And she 26. These 25, 26-year-old girls are not ready. So she meets with Zach. And this is Zach, 31, is a lawyer. And Irina says the ladies have strong comments about him. So he says he realized that he has to be vulnerable. He has 9 days to choose a wife, and now confessing that he's not the stripper, but that his mom was the stripper. So Zach mama was a stripper, and she had to work day and night to take care of him. I think he said his father had passed, but then he lost his mom, and he basically, went to law school, and he made his law company a whole lot of money, and he was realizing that no, that's not really what I want to do. I want to, celebrate my mom's memory, and that, he really wants to get married and settle down and do something different with his life. So I really appreciated him saying that. And then he said, he was judged, and he's been judged because his mother is a stripper. Zach, you just have to realize that people are going to judge you. It's the delusional people for me that think people's not going to judge you. I'm judging you. Your mama's a stripper. Oh no, child, that's a spirit. And I don't need that stripper demon falling off on my little girls. So no, I wouldn't date Zach. This is why in my husband profile course, we talk about all this stuff, girl. Sign up for the husband profile. Send me an email. I talk about all of this, girl. You need to know about who's in his family. You need to know who the mama is, the daddy is, what they did for a living, what was their life. Like, you need to know absolutely everything. Don't overlook nothing, because these are your children, and you're going to be having these children, and you're going to have to know that based on what happened in your mama and your daddy and your great mama daddy line, some of that stuff might fall off on your children. So ladies, if you meet a man who the mama daddy was a criminal, the great daddy was a criminal, and he went to jail one time, guess what? That's the spirit. I would run to the hill. Same thing with alcoholism and SA, molest, and all of that. Those are all demon spirits that has been attached to a bloodline that nobody has taken authority over and cast that spirit out. And so you wonder why spirits keep what's the word? Like the Ancora, how they say it keeps mutating. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Mutating, that's the word. They keep doing, because nobody has taken authority over that spirit and cast it out. So yes, Zach, people's gonna judge you because your mama was a stripper. Now you just have to find a girl that is okay with your mama being a stripper. But you need to understand that, yeah, some people's gonna pass you up because your mama was a stripper. I mean, once I find out your mama was a stripper, I will block you because you might want me to be a stripper. Okay. And then I had to text my girlfriends because I'm like, does Irina look hairy? Like, either she has on black stockings, which I don't know why you would have black stockings on in California, wherever this is filmed, or she's just really hairy. So she's going to tell us her story later. And so I had to text my girlfriend and ask them, is Bliss black? Because she don't look black. But the problem is they're biracial. All these girls that they're trying to pass off as black girls are all biracial girls. So it's like, I'm like, well, is you black or is you white or what? Is you mix? Where's Bliss? Wait a minute. Why didn't I see Bliss? Okay, wait a minute. Oh, Bill. Brandy. Bliss. There go Bliss in the yellow. Bliss, she's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl. She's a real pretty girl. So Zach likes her and says she's a 10 on the intellect. And I'm like, yes, the white lawyer likes the biracial black girl, even though he didn't know that she's biracial. So, oh my God, they both have favorite songs. I hope you dance. And I absolutely love them. So then we go over to Micah, and Micah says the experiments begin. I love that. It's an experiment. This is Micah in the green. Micah says the experiment starts with dating a ton of guys. Hello, dating is for data. Date multiple guys at once. I gotta get this book out because I'm talking about it, but y'all can't go get it yet. Date multiple guys at once. Hold on, y'all. Let me call Miss Lexa because she ain't down here. She's supposed to be down here. Lex. Okay, I'm back. I'll be letting her get an extra 10 or 15 minutes in, but then she don't be coming downstairs on time. So I love that Micah say it's an experiment. That's it. Let's try and see what happens. Her two strong connections are Kwame and Paul. And Paul says he's ready to make out, but she really likes Kwame. Okay, Kwame's the guy I don't like. I can't stand him. The moment I saw him, I said, I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like him. So then Tiffany and Brett, he asks about her story. And I was holding my breath like, yes, Tiffany, tell us your story. And guess what Tiffany said, y'all? She started talking about her job. And I'm like, Tiffany, why is you on the TV embarrassing us? Tiffany, we want to know about you, your story. Your story. Who are you? So then she said, I was the top recruiter for 3 months in my company for out of 100 people, and blah blah blah, and blah blah blah, and blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. But then when it comes to Brett telling his story, guess what he talked about? He talked about his family. He talked about the hardship they face. Then he shared about his job and how he got to start working for Nike. And then he said he's not college, he didn't go to college. And he shared how the career path he's taken, and it's not the traditional route, but this is just something that kind of opened up for him. And I really liked his story. And Tiffany says that she's not taking the traditional route and she want to be her authentic self. And is it me, y'all, or was the makeup bad this season? I know the ladies are doing their own makeup, but child, you got to try to match the color up to your complexion. So then we go over to Chelsea. She said he didn't expect, she said she didn't expect the mental and emotional turmoil. And this is the thing I realize with a lot of women. It's like they don't want to put in the work. You just want to open this door, and this man is at the door, and he's perfect. You don't vet him. You don't have to vet him. It's like the typical mindset of God is going to bring him to me and sit him next to me, versus understand that you have to do your work. You have to put in some work. Dating is for data, the husband profile. You have to know what you want. You have to talk to the man and figure out, do they have what you want? If they don't have what you want, I took my husband's business mask down. This is my husband's business mask. I put my travel mask. If they don't have what you want, you have to just drop and move along. And I noticed that with a lot of ladies, that they don't want to do the work. You don't want to do the legwork, but you have to do the legwork to meet the man you want. Okay, it's just not going to happen. She said she didn't expect the mental and the emotional turmoil. Do not get involved emotionally. Once you meet him and figure out he is not what you want, drop, move along. Come on, somebody. Come on, church. Drop and move along. So then she goes back to the pod, and she doesn't want to talk about it because she doesn't trust the girl over there, aka Amber. So both Amber and Chelsea likes the same guy. She says Kwame talks to her heart, her head, and her vagina. Go ahead, Chelsea. So both Amber and Chelsea likes Kwame, and Kwame likes them both. And remember earlier, he said Chelsea was a 10 for him. I want you to remember that. So Chelsea says Kwame speaks to her heart, her head, and her vagina. See, if he can't talk to my head, heart, and vagina, he ain't no good. We ain't no good at that on. But then she says Kwame could be saying the same thing to Micah. He sure is. He sure is saying the same thing to Micah in the green dress. So then Kwame is gonna say he wants to have his hands all over her body because he got his hands all over her soul. Girl, let me tell you, didn't I tell you I didn't like Kwame? I told you I didn't like him. I told you I didn't like him. Let me read again. I had to read. Like, what is this? What is this? Wolf in sheep's clothing. What he say? He said to her, he wants to have his hands over her body because he's all over her soul. Talking about it feels scared. And Kwame is a player and is saying all the right things, honey, okay? And all the delusional girl is just, yes, yes, yes. Have your body over my soul and all over my body. And I'm like, Kwame, please. I can see through it, okay? So Kwame tells Micah, this is Kwame down here, the black guy in the bottom. He has a strong connection with somebody else. So let's go back. So this is Micah in the green. Kwame tells her that he has a strong connection with somebody else, and this somebody else is Amber. Amber's up here in the orange. So then, and then it's going in the right direction. So then Amber says, Micah says, it's hard for her to understand how. He says that she validates him more, and he claims he's sure about Micah and that he wants to propose earlier. What I said, Micah? I'm sorry, Micah's in the green. Micah and Amber. So, remember all the good things he said about Amber? He's telling Micah that he wants to propose earlier than when he was supposed to propose. So he claims he's been smitten for days. And he's like, not days, we've only been here 6 days. But now she's talking about the other person that he's on a slow burn. So Kwame really likes Michael. Amber likes Kwame more than Micah likes Kwame. And Kwame likes Zach. No, Kwame likes Micah likes Paul. I'm gonna come back to the. I'm still getting the names right. He claims he's sure about Micah and that he wants to propose earlier, but Micah says the other guy is on a slow burn and she don't want to rush to accept a proposal from Kwame when she hasn't given the other guy the chance. She goes back to the room and runs her mouth. So there is Amber over here in the corner feeling like, well, what in the world? So remember, Micah is a mean girl. And she's running her mouth. And Amber is over here, and Amber is feeling really uncomfortable about what Micah is saying that Kwame wanted to propose early. So then we get back to Tiffany and Brett. Tiffany is falling in love, and Brett also has strong feelings and excuse him. Tiffany, why are you telling this man you're falling in love, girl? You're damn near 40. You don't know not to tell a man you're falling in love with him yet. You can express your emotions without saying I'm falling in love. Did he tell you he's falling in love with you? Girl, you don't say nothing about love till he bring it up. Lord, I have to go. I have to leave out of here at 8:30. Okay. So Marshall, so then the men go back to the room, and Marshall, I don't like him either. He's a little feminine for me. Marshall is encouraging, this is Marshall up here. He couldn't get a deal with me. Marshall's encouraged Brett to take the leap. He talks about, and I thought that was encouraging. I thought that was encouraging. So he goes back to the room and he talks about his brother to Tiffany. He's been with his brother was with his girlfriend for 10 years, girl. This is what I mean. 10 years his brother was with his girlfriend before he decided to propose. So then they're planning a wedding. It's a week before the wedding. They're gotten fitted for their tux or something. And then the girlfriend the fiance called him and said his brother didn't come home. And Brett said he's real positive, and he was like, oh, he's going to come home. He's going to come home. And he woke up the next day and he went to work and he just, nothing. Okay, his brother's going to come home. And then he said his other brother called him and said the brother is gone. And he was like, what you mean he's gone? He's dead. 5 minutes from home, he ran off the road, probably was sleepy or something. So you see, they were shacking up and living in sin for 10 years. So 10 years is gone. You done wasted 10 years of your life. You can't get his Social Security or nothing like that. You could have been married and enjoying this marriage. So he's basically saying, Brett is basically saying he's scared and he don't want that to happen to the person and so on and so forth. And then Tiffany go and tell him, oh, I'm really, I'm for lack of a better word, ride or die. I really stick it through. I don't give up easily, so on and so forth. Okay, I'm almost done, y'all, because I got to go. So he's scared. Brett is like, well, what if we get together and in a year or so it doesn't work out? So then Paul brings Amber flowers. And I'm just confused about this. I'm really confused about what happened. This is Paul up here in 29. He also is dating Amber. And he's also dating Micah. He brings her flowers and they're on the same page about marriage, kids, religion. He asked about cheating, and she basically said that if somebody cheat, there's a reason, and he said it's a red flag. And I'm like, high five, Paul. That is a red flag. I would drop her too. What you mean there is a reason? There is never a reason to cheat, especially if you're of a person of faith. There is never a reason to break your marital vows. Never. So he said that is a red flag. So then um the girls go back to the room, and Irina, I can't stand her. She's a mean girl. Okay. Irina is jealous about Amber's flowers. And then when she hears she was on a date with Paul, she's saying they're boring. So Paul likes Irina and Amber. Okay. And he brought Amber flowers. He didn't bring Irina no flowers. So at first, Irina was admiring her flowers, but soon as somebody told her, oh, she was just on a date with Paul, then she's like, oh, they're boring. I don't like him. They're ugly. Mean girl. And I don't know how, but let me not say nothing. Let me not say nothing, just in case you didn't watch it. So I'm not gonna bust your bubble. So then Micah goes to meet Paul, and Micah is bringing up Amber. And I'm like, girl, why are you talking about another woman to your man? Micah is bringing up Amber to Paul again. She's ready to move on with Paul, and she doesn't think that's where he is, and it makes her sad. So basically, I feel like Amber bamboozled Paul into making a decision. Remember, he just gave Amber flowers. You just gave Amber flowers. So Paul asks who she sees herself with, and she says with him. But then she said the same thing to Kwame. Didn't Micah say the same thing to Kwame? Y'all forgot. I'm like, wait a minute. I need to rewind. Did you say the same thing to Kwame? Did you say, Micah? Did you tell Kwame you also see? Somebody help me out, because I'm sure she said that. I'm like, girl, stop being a hoe. Wait, girl. So Amber said she brought her see herself with him, and I says, wait, so you brought Amber's flowers, but want to do it. So then Paul's like, okay, let's go ahead, let's move on, let's go ahead with it. And I'm like, wait a minute, Paul, you just gave Amber flowers. You didn't bring this Micah no flowers, but you're ready to move along with Micah, and you just gave Amber flowers. I had a party with her. I don't understand. But then he was like, let's do it. He said, but he needs to talk to Amber first. And I'm like, nope. Amber was the best choice for you. Amber. So he's moving along with Micah, the girl in the green dress. But to me, Amber was a better fit for him. They have more things in common. So then, wait a minute, y'all. So then we'll be back over with Brett and Tiffany, and they meet up, and he's ready to spend the rest of his life with her. And he brought her a gift, aka the shoes, which represent his beginning. So he makes shoes and stuff. And so he brought the shoes, and I'm like, thank you, Jesus. A black girl is gonna get married. And did y'all notice how they had food and water this time? Because before I really didn't see much food, right? But now they have food and water, because remember, some of the cast had sued them. She says she feels like she's in love. This is Tiffany. Tiffany, shut your mouth. You talk too much. Stop talking about how much you love him and how much you want him, how much you want to have his baby. So she says she's in love. Oh my God. She fell asleep, y'all. She fell asleep on the couch, and she's over there snoring. And Brett is like, hello. He goes back to the room and says he's done. And I'm like, I start looking at him crooked because I'm like, okay, you're done because of what? Either she walked out or maybe she fell asleep. You didn't think about that, Paul? And see, I don't like no man that can't think ahead like that. That would bother me. That would definitely bother me. So I'm like, with him, I can't do it. And so the ladies came in. I think that's episode 2 start with the ladies came in and wake Tiffany up. So that's episode 1. So the couples are they're figuring it out and they're matching up. So in episode 2, we're gonna start having some engagements and still more couples trying to figure out who they are going to with. Let me know what you think. I absolutely love you and adore you. What do you think of the people? Who's your favorite? I do like Brett and Tiffany. I don't like Amber. I don't like Nina or Naira or whatever her name is. And she's a mean girl. And I definitely don't like Kwame. I also love you and adore. Let me know what you think. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up. Remember to show me love in joining my membership, my mentorship program, and leaving me reviews on my books on Amazon. Talk to you later. Bye.